Hello and welcome to the Free Cheese episode 643. I am your Joe Dix, joined by Matt Sellner.
Hello.
The Free Cheese is a weekly video game podcast about video games brought to you once a week by thefreecheese.com. We return, Matt, for the beginning of the year and is it our favorite episode? We have a couple of episode types that have become favorites, but this might be the favorite episode of the year.
Yeah, I think it's mine. Although I will start off. There is no prediction that I have that's over 10 parts.
I'm
So,
disappointed
I know.
because
I
boy, when you hear the math I had to do for some of your predictions last year, uh, I I'm not even. We'll get to that. We will get to that. If you're just joining us, if you've not been around before, welcome. This is a great time to start because it's the start of our 14th season. We start every season by recapping our predictions from last year, making some new ones for the year ahead, and giving you a sneak little peek at some of the games that we will be reviewing on the podcast. Reviews, you say? Yes. We review video games every week. Just about. There's some episodes that are non-game specific, but for the last few years, we've been reviewing and ranking video games one per week on a list that we call The List, which you can find over at thefreecheese.com/the list, where we have 166 games, if I'm not forgetting. Does that sound right?
I was opening
As of
something
the
else.
end of 2025. Yes, 166. Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero takes the bottom. If you're intrigued why, go to the list, thefreecheese.com/the list. And we've got links to every episode where we've ranked these video games. You can go listen to us talk about those, share our thoughts, and then, of course, rank them on this nightmare of a list. But we're not here for that today. Today, it's prediction times. Actually, Matt, before we get too deep, I want to ask 2026. It's going to be a pretty seminal year for video game anniversaries. Tell me something from 30 years ago that you were excited about in video games. Can you remember? At the no.
I don't know. Triple Play Baseball '97 might have been a cool.
Yeah, looking forward to that one.
What WWF game? You see, at this point, I don't even know what they are. I think I just see them like I see that red cool box cover for WWF Attitude, and then I'm like, oh, that looks cool.
Maybe let's jump ahead.
Oh, Attitude was
Let's go
'99.
ahead.
Jesus.
Yeah, let's hit 5 years. Tell me 25 years ago, 2001. What's got your attention? It's not the Nintendo 64 anymore because that was 1996's deal. In 2001,
Um, probably. You see, I don't have a PlayStation 2 yet during this time, but like Tony Hawk, I was playing a lot of at this point. I may have. Oh no, I doubt I played Sound Celebrity this year. I know, like, what's the late release window for PlayStation? I mean, this is very much in the thick of some of like my sports stuff, like playing NHLs,
yeah,
MLBs, all that good stuff.
I would have been thinking that myself. I was also at the ripe age of 12, so I was very much too cool for Nintendo. I remember the GameCube coming out, and it was like a thing I'd play at people's houses, but I'd never dare to own one myself because I was too cool and a grown up, and I deserved a PS2, and one I got, which yeah would have been. I think you're right. Like the era of Tony Hawk video games, some 989 sports. Um, I don't know what else.
Might have Blitz. Might have gotten a Blitz this year. Can't remember if my Blitz is 2000,
Oh, you know what?
2001.
I do. How fitting. I probably would have been very stoked on GTA 3 at this point.
Mm.
In fact, I know I was because I remember it was summer of 2001, and we were at Blockbuster and saw GTA 2 for the first time and rented it. And there was a guy standing next to us looking at games. And I remember him seeing us grab that and being like, it was almost like there's an episode of King of the Hill where Hank is trying to screen Bobby's music in the store to make sure it doesn't have profanity or anything bad or whatever. And Bobby hands him one, and there's a guy next to him in the store who's like, "Oh, that one's sick," and Hank's just like, "Put it back," like, because that guy liked
Mhm.
it. And it was almost that where like we picked it up, and this guy was like, "Oh, great game," and I remember my mom being like, "I don't know if that guy's recommendation is good." He was like, "Wait till you see the new one they're making." And then, sure enough, we saw GTA 3 was coming and melted.
Yeah, I don't play GTA 3 until 2000, at least 2003, if not later, because I remember playing it at my friend's house at Xbox. That was the one game
Oh
that I
yeah,
distinctly remember. I guess my parents got wind of right
yeah,
around the time it was coming big, and I remember my mom distinctly saying like, "Don't even bother asking for that." I was like, "Okay."
yeah. Yeah.
Like that's the only game. Like
We,
she never even
I
talked
know,
about video games to me. She was just like, "Don't
ever,
ask for
yeah.
that one." I was like, "I don't even know what this is, to be honest with you, but thank you for putting it into my spot."
Yeah, because it got quietly big, and then it became what it was. Yeah, we Trojan horsed our way into that one, but we'll see what happens with Grand Theft Auto this year. We'll see what happens with a lot of anniversaries this year. Are you hopeful for 2026 in video games?
Yes.
Cautiously. Yeah,
If my predictions have anything to say about it, it's going to be a good year.
interesting. Well,
But as we're
those
about to
predictions we
find
will.
out, they never come
Yeah,
true. So here we are.
or they kind of. Well, we'll see. We're going to take a look back. We've been doing the last few years some group predictions or buddies predictions, if you will. And this is just a series of questions that we answer together. Um, they they aren't always predictions. Some of them are just like questions. But I did give us points for those anyway, because why not? So our first group prediction last year was which Nintendo franchise will make a surprise return on the successor to Nintendo Switch. We did not know that it was called the Switch 2 at the time. I said Custom Robo. Do you remember what you said?
No, I have no idea on these questions.
Golden Sun.
Oh,
I know.
what
Zero
an
points
answer.
across the board. I know. I asked, what is your dream announcement that will never happen? My answer, Metroid the Animated Series. And you said Quake. We both dreamed big. I give us each a point. So we're tied for one. Next, which game is not being hyped up that you're following? Do you remember your answer for this one?
No, there's no way I said Expedition 33 though.
No, you said Doom the Dark Ages. And I
Oh.
said Tokyo Extreme Racer, which I think both of us chose games that did end up being kind of sleeper, quiet things of 2025. 1 point each for both of us. Next, will Xbox release new hardware in 2025? I said no, but the Steam Deck will get an official Xbox app and Xbox consoles will start supporting Steam Remote Play ahead of eventual integration allowing you to download and play Steam OS games. Boy, I was something.
Close.
You said
Did I say
not you said not anything manufactured by Microsoft. So boom. The Xbox ROG X Ally X Box X came out this year. 1 point for Matt. What is the name of the successor to Nintendo Switch? I said Nintendo Switch. You said Nintendo Switch 2. 1 point for you. Will Metroid Prime 4 Beyond release this year? We both said yes. And unfortunately, we both got a point. Which highly anticipated game are you having trouble finding excitement for? I said Grand Theft Auto 6. You said Elden Ring Night Rain. Gave us both a point for that one as well. What will be the biggest announcement at EVO 2025? I said Marvel vs. Capcom 5. You said Street Fighter 6 Year 3. Marvel vs. Capcom 5 did not happen. Marvel Tokone Fighting Souls did get announced. Street Fighter 6 Year 3 was a good announcement, but it happened prior to EVO. Is Super Smash Bros. Announced this year? You said no. I said no, but the original would be added to Nintendo Switch Online. I'm going to again give myself a -1 points for that. Which live service game do you think will close in 2025, but it will actually stay running into 2026? This was one where you realized after the fact you
Yeah,
misinterpreted the question and said that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is taken off the marketplace. It was not, but it did receive an offline mode right around the game's 1 year anniversary or just prior to. I said Multiversus, and sadly, Multiversus went offline in May and the studio was closed. You never played that, did you?
no.
It was so much better before they took it away the first time, speed wise. And then when they brought it back, the game was slower. It was weird. Had a really bad progression system. It's such a shame because there's so many characters in there that are, like the. I think the move sets were good. I feel like the stuff they did, if they just like sped it up, I don't know, 15 years, the game will be hacked and people do something fun with it. What will win Game of the Year at the Game Awards? We both said, do you remember what we both thought
Was
would
it
be Game
Monster
of the
Hunter?
Year? Monster Hunter Wilds. It was not. It was Claire Obscure Expedition 33, which took almost every category. And I asked, what will be your game of the year? I said Let It Die 3 or Skate. And you said Doom the Dark Ages or Resident Evil 9. I think I gave us both 0 points for those. Yeah, I gave us 0 points for those because yes. It's not where we landed. Will GTA 5 release in 2025? We both said no,
You
and we
mean
were
you
both
mean
correct.
6?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
Well,
written
well,
6. I
5 didn't
just.
come out on Switch 2, so.
Oh wait, if we had asked, will GTA 5 release? It did get us another re-release for current. It was like an enhanced edition or something.
Oh, right.
On
Yeah.
Yeah, so we could have been right, but yeah, no. The question was 6, and we both said no, and we both got it right. Uh, Penultimate group question: what is the hook of Pokemon Legends ZA? I said you will be able to go into every building. You will help to build and design the city, eventually becoming a gym leader. I don't believe any of that was true. You said it actually looks and runs well, and I gave you a point for that because I think that is correct.
Played an
And
hour
then
of it.
yeah.
Want to
Oh,
play.
did you?
That the
And
tutorial stuff's tough, really, really tough to get through. I have to
yeah.
persevere, but now that I'm back home, I'm trying to finish something else. But I will hop in. It ran fine though, one handheld.
Okay. I had a Pokemon itch earlier this week, and I was like, I do have that voucher sitting there. I could pull the trigger, but I opted to pause for a moment. But I'm getting excited about Pokemon. Stay tuned for Pokemon. Uh, Finally, our last group prediction. What is the obvious launch title for the successor to Nintendo Switch? I said Mario Kart 10. You said Switch On, which was, I believe, like a
Yeah, like
1-2
1-2 switch.
Switch esque Mario Kart Tour, or no, I'm sorry, Mario Kart
World.
World did release. So I gave myself a point for that. In the end, with my negative points for getting some overzealous guesses there, I ended with 4. You ended with 9. So you are currently in the lead. For our 2025 predictions, I said number 1, Resident Evil 9 is announced and released before holiday. Jill returns as one of the playable characters. Gave myself a third of a point there because it was announced. Number 2, I said Persona 6 is revealed. Green is the primary color of the game. It is released on all major platforms simultaneously, including the successor to Nintendo Switch. It was not, 0 points, but man, they just launched the Persona 30th anniversary website on the 1st, and there's news coming on the 8th. There's a tease of a fitness boxer. You know the fitness boxer series on Switch? They might be
Yeah,
doing a fitness boxer cross Persona 5, it looks like.
sure.
Stay tuned. But it is the 30th anniversary of Persona, so this is probably I think I was a little early on that. All right, so here's where some math gets a little fun. Number 3, Sega has a big year. Two of the I went Matt on this
Mhm.
prediction, if you can't tell. Two of the revival games announced in 2023, Jet Set Radio, Crazy Taxi, Shinobi, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, are released. The sequel to Sonic Frontiers is announced before the end of the year. One brand new property is announced, while another revival announcement brings House of the Dead back into the limelight. So I considered this a three-part prediction that two of the revival games would be released, the sequel to Sonic Frontiers is announced, and that you would get a new game with their House of the Dead revival. That probably could have been a four-part, but I already did the math. We're not going to do it again. One of those two revival games that I predicted released, Shinobi. Um, so I gave myself a half of a third of a point, which is 0.165 points. So I've got 0.165. Number 4. I said following the release of DC versus Marvel comic book collections and the forthcoming rise of DC Comics on film, NetherRealm Studios announces Injustice 3 DC versus Marvel. It did not happen, but two voice actors, Phil Lamar, and I don't remember the other guy's name, but he voices Superman, George something. They were at a Comic Con and just flat out said, "Yeah, you know they're making Injustice 3, right?" So maybe. Again, like Persona 6, I might have been a little early. Number 5. The one there's like I think you can count on like a finger how many years I've not made a Castlevania prediction in all of our years of doing predictions. I said Castlevania returns with a teaser trailer reminiscent of a From Software game. The teaser shows flashes of gameplay as an unknown protagonist approaches Dracula. The themes of bloody tears can be heard subtly through the sweeping music. 0 points. In total, bringing me to 0.495 points. So I guess my total with that is 4.495. My most anticipated games were Monster Hunter Wilds, Skate, Tokyo Extreme Racer, Tetris the Grandmaster 4, Absolute Eye, and Let It Die 3. Still, most anticipated is Tokyo Extreme Racer because now I can play it on console this year. All right, stay tuned. Buckle in. Matt's 2025 predictions. Number 1. Do you remember these?
I remember the last one.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the huge 20-part Xbox One. I don't remember
Mm-hmm.
every single game, but I know a lot missed. I may have had a Switch 2 theme related one. I can't remember.
Let's see. All right. Number 1. Sometime this year at a Keeley event, we will be presented with a brother and sister main character duo named Rosalind and Iris Mundus. They represent the two playable characters in Final Fantasy 17, with some emphasis on those two eyes. It will feature an open world on a character switching system like GTA 5 and Marvel's Spider Man 2, where each character has set parties. Special dungeons boss fights will implement an 8-party member system that expands upon the synergy ability system seen in 7 Rebirth. I think you were just too early, dude. I think I really like that character switching system idea. I feel like that's the next hook of Final Fantasy. I think you're onto something there, but 0 points for now. Number 2. Phil Spencer settles in to deliver Xbox's biggest year since the 360 era. I can't get through it without. You will see releases of Call of Duty, Doom, Perfect Dark, The Outer Worlds 2, State of Decay 3, Avowed, Fable, South of Midnight, Clockwork Revolution, Conquer, made by Double Fine, Banjo, made by Mojang. Mojang? Mojang. Of those 11, 5 will see PlayStation releases in 2025. The moment of the year happens when Halo is revealed. It's actually 3 games: Halo the Master Chief Collection on PlayStation 5, Halo Combat Evolved Remake, and a new game that somehow reboots the lore, The Flood are teased. So far, of the Halo piece, only the Combat Evolved Remake has been confirmed. Um, Going back to the breakdown of games, we did get Call of Duty, we did get Doom, Perfect Dark was canceled, The Outer Worlds 2 released, State of Decay 3, I don't even think had a trailer.
Mm-mm.
Avowed released, Fabled slipped into 2026, South of Midnight released, Clockwork Revolution did not release, Conqueror doesn't exist, and Banjo doesn't exist as far as we know. Of those 5 that did release, all but Avowed released on PlayStation 5. So, for your first
You
prediction
should have just gave a
of
0 when it said we'll have the biggest year since the 360. I would have
no,
even gone on if I was doing this.
no. You got 5 out of 11 on the first third of your 3-part prediction. Um, so 5 out of 11 divided by 3 is 0.1515. 4 out of those 5 are on PS5, which is 0.4 a value, right? Because you got, it's a third of your prediction, but it's 4 out of 5. So I gave you, yeah. And then the final bit, you got a third of that third. So in total, this 3-part prediction netted you 0.6615 points.
Perfect. I'd still would have given myself a 0 just for that first sentence.
I You got a couple zeros coming up. You'll be fine. Number 3, you said the Switch 2 will have a weaker new game first year than Switch 1 did, despite Prime 4, Mario Kart 9 Everyone's Here, and a new 3D Mario game. However, it will ride the wave of 4K upscaling to its main Switch titles and teases for major releases like Zelda and Kirby. 3D Mario incorporates an open galaxy. Yes, Super Mario Galaxy 3 is the new 3D Mario game. For this one, I gave you a third of a point because it did have a weaker first year than Switch 1 software wise. And I think what you meant in this and how I interpreted it was the the fact that every month we had a
Yeah.
first party title. We kind of did this year, but it didn't. I don't think it hit the same as Switch One, and I can say that because Switch One, I don't think there was a release in Switch One's first year that you and I didn't buy month over month. I think we were on pretty much all of them,
Yeah.
and this year you and I both kind of dipped in and out of some Switch Two stuff. So I think that's there. Also, you did get 4K upscaling. We got some Switch titles bumped up to 4K, or if not 4K, they at least got like a Switch 2 edition. So I think I gave you a partial point for that. Even though, because I think the first part of your question you threw out the new 3D Mario game, but the second part you kind of had it right there. No tease for Zelda or Kirby. No Super Mario Galaxy 3. Third of a point. Number 4. PlayStation has a slower year as some internal studios need more time before announcing games. That's correct. I think that was right. However, highlights will include Blue Point's original game and Sony Bend coming back to Uncharted. Neither of those happened. The biggest win, however, simply comes from a remaster. Do you remember what the remaster was?
Bloodborne. I think I say it every year.
Bloodborne Remastered will come to PS5 and PC same day. 0 points for that one. Can't be helped. And then number 5, Andrew Wilson will leave EA for the Disney gig, thus bringing in the golden era of Electronic Arts.
Yeah.
It begins with a reveal of Mass Effect gameplay that looks promising and a lot like Anthem with some flying. Respawn shows off their Star Wars first-person shooter that plays like Titanfall 3 should have. Skate looks like a good skate game. The Golden Age does, however, have a negative effect. EA Play will leave Game Pass sometime in 2026, but adds day one unlimited access for those subscribed directly to EA Play. I don't think any of that came true. Sorry to report. 0 points.
I might have been a year too early on that one.
I know.
That first part of it.
Yeah, he probably will be leaving, but which brings your solo predictions up to 0.9915, combined with your group prediction score of 9 brings you to 9.9915. Congratulations, you won 2025. Most anticipated games for you last year were Doom: The Dark Ages, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, Monster Hunter Wilds, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, and these were unannounced at the time of predicting them, but you listed Resident Evil 9 and Mario Kart 10. There you have it. Our 2025 predictions. Which brings us to our 2026 predictions. We're going to start off like we did last year with our buddies' predictions. I do think every question this year is some sort of prediction. It's not necessarily like a
Yeah.
like last year I
Feels.
had some yeah. All right. Ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
Number 1. I'll kick to you first and then I'll answer it and we'll volley back and forth. Number 1. Please detail Nintendo's plans for the 40th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda.
All right. There's going to be a remake of 2 in that art style they've been doing with that Zelda game and the remake of that Game Boy game. And then there's going to be a tease of the proper next project.
Amazing. I like that a lot. I hope yours is right. I hope all of our predictions for this are correct because I really want a big year for Zelda. Where are you at on Zelda? I know you've always kind of been like, it's not like your thing, but you're not.
I'll see what they put out. I'll see what they put out.
Do you have any interest in going backwards through any of them at all?
No, because that project is taken up by Square Enix property currently.
Yeah, fair. All right, I have a 6-part prediction here, or 6-part answer. Number 1, commemorative paper cups in partnership with Lawson's, a Japanese convenience store, when buying a cup of coffee. Number 2, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess joins the GameCube library on Nintendo Switch.
Oh, that's a way to do it. I was thinking of Twilight Princess originally.
Twilight Princess also turns 20 this year, so keep that in mind. Number 3, we get a teaser trailer for The Legend of Zelda, the movie.
Right.
Number 4, new exhibit items at the museum in Kyoto. Number 5, Zelda Dungeon Maker. Number 6, a first look at the new game. Next game. I want Zelda to have a better year than Mario did. Mario got a paper bib for the Tokyo Marathon or Kyoto Marathon, whatever marathon that was. Number 2, how many games with the prefix Halo will be released? And will any of them release on Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Switch 2?
I think you're going to get 1 and 1.
Ooh.
But I think the games might be
2 and 1.
I think the games are going to be different. I still think Master Chief Collection is getting ported.
Okay.
And that would be the one that hits Switch 2. And then the campaign, it's not remastered. What's it called?
Campaign Evolved.
Right. Yeah, right. Halo Campaign, right.
Stupid.
I think that's like the new release, and then the port of Master Chief Collection to Switch, PlayStation, and all that will be the other one. So 1 and 1.
I said 2 and 1. I think we're gonna get Campaign Evolved, and I do think we're gonna get a multiplayer game, and I think the multiplayer one will release on Switch or Switch 2. Number 3, how much will we know about the next Xbox by the end of the year?
Nothing official by Xbox. Lost my. But we're gonna get all the rumors, and I think it's gonna be heavily rumored to be a Gabe Cube like device, which runs Windows 11, therefore allowing Steam.
I see. I said, and I didn't write that it'll be official, but I didn't not write official or unofficial. Or I didn't, yeah, I did not write. Okay. I wrote the name, the look, and a target launch window for fall 2027 are the things that we'll know. Number 4, how much will we know about the PlayStation 6 by the end of the year?
A project name. That's it.
I have unofficially confirmed specifications, SKUs, and target launch window. Number 5, which Wii title will quietly receive a Switch version on the 20th anniversary of Wii? And I meant this in the way that like Super Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2 just sort of like plopped out on the Switch last year.
I had I interpreted quietly in a different way because I didn't know if you meant that figuratively or literally. So I have an extension to part 1 or question 1. Link's crossbow training is going to be
Man,
the release.
I almost said Link's crossbow training, I promise. I am happy you did. That's good. I said Metroid Other M. I think they want to. It is also the 40th anniversary of Metroid, but I don't think there's going to be much. We might get the Prime 2 stuff or something. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I think Other M deserves its due. Number 6, how much will Game Pass cost at the end of the year?
I said whatever. I said the same. I don't know what it is currently, but the same.
I did too. $9.99, $14.99, and $29.99. I don't think it'll increase. Number 7, what is the next collection from Digital Eclipse?
I did really know a lot. I did put 2 and 2 together about Digital Eclipse, so I just kind of I'm throwing up a random answer here. I'm gonna say Contra. That seems like a game they would do, and I don't think there's a proper Contra like package yet that has a bunch of them in it.
There was a Konami collection in the same way they did like the Castlevania anniversary stuff.
Nah,
but,
well.
but it only captured a handful of the games, and it doesn't. The Digital Eclipse stuff, they're doing like these full. They just did the Mortal Kombat collection.
Right.
They've been doing that series of like Tetris Forever and the Jeff Minter collection. I guessed Cruisin'. Cruise N. Number 8. What will be the first color variant to the Joy-Con 2?
A further extension from question 1, Zelda-themed green.
Ooh, I like that. Would you buy them?
Probably not. Not for $90 or whatever the hell they are.
Yeah.
Stay tuned on that.
I just wrote the word Mario. So I'm assuming they might do like the overall thing with the little yellow buttons for buttons. And yeah. Number 9. With Yakuza 3 Kiwami, Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined, and Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly releasing in 2026, what is the next long-awaited remaster or remake to be announced?
I don't know why I'm doubting my answer. This may have already been announced, but Splinter Cell?
I don't think it was announced.
Okay,
but
maybe I dreamt that.
Stupid with that stuff.
Maybe I dreamt it then.
It's so bizarre. All right, I had some backups just in case you took this answer, so I will. But you didn't, so I will lead with it. Resident Evil Code Veronica X. Announced, not released.
Yeah.
Number 10. Which non-Capcom franchise will join Monster Hunter Wilds? Sorry, I lost my place on the page. Will join Monster Hunter Wilds as a collaboration. Non-Capcom franchise joining Monster Hunter.
I'm going to give you 2 answers because I couldn't decide between them. Metal Gear and Metroid.
Ooh, man.
Because I think Wilds, with the new shit that they pulled off, the magic to optimize the game, which I don't even know works, to be honest with you, they might be bringing that game to Switch too.
Did you see that there might be more confirmation around that than you think?
Oh no, is it like?
In title update for people data mined, and there's
Oh,
a one line of code somewhere that says NSW2 upgrade. So
perfect. Didn't know that. That's great.
that's good. Yeah. Uh, I said Digimon.
Ooh.
I'm really hopeful for this. Not only just to get Mark back into the fold, but also because if you recall, for the 20th anniversary of Monster Hunter 2024, I think. I don't know. They announced Digimon. Remember the little ones that we did an episode
Mhm.
for? They did the little V pets for Monster Hunter, so you could like raise a Rathalos or whatever. Um, so I'm hoping they reciprocate that. They put Digimon in the game. Number 11. Will Marathon still remain active by the time we record 2026 predictions? And what will the current Open Critic score be at that time?
I guess you mean 2027
Did
predictions.
I? Yes, I did mean that. I fool.
Um. All right.
2027. Jeez.
Yes. Yes, it will be, and it will be at
Gosh.
a 71.
Ooh, all right. I said yes, it will be, but it'll be at an 83. We got a couple back to back Pokemon predictions here. Number 12. For the 30th anniversary of Pokemon, will Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue be released on Switch? Will they have online functionality? And will they work with Pokemon Stadium?
Yes. No and no.
Ah, I said yes, yes, and yes. Because I'm a dreamer. Number 13. What is the 10th generation of Pokemon? Name one new Pokemon that will be introduced. And is this game released this year?
So my answer would be a remaster or a remake that they've been doing. I don't know what gen they're on, but the next proper one of those.
It would be Black White would be the next remaster.
So black white remasters. I do think that will come this year. What was the final part of that?
Well, then you have to name one new Pokemon that'll be introduced. And will the 10th generation be released this year? So you're saying no 10th gen, but they will remake Gen 5.
Yes, yeah, I guess. Yep.
Any guesses at a new Pokemon? I guess if
Well, it
there
wouldn't be
won't
a
be
new
a new
one.
Pokemon because
Yeah.
it'd be a remake. All right. So I've got 10th generation is a brand new game, but it's returning to Kanto, bringing back Team Rocket and some other characters from the region. You know, your Brocks, your Misties,
Mhm.
etc. The new Pokemon will be Spectrion, the ghost type Eevee, who is haunted by the fox god of the region, which is the legendary Pokemon that you catch at the end of the game. And it releases this fall as a major release. Pokemon 10th gen.
Dream
Let's go.
big.
We'll find out. That one will answer in like a month. We'll know. Number 14. What current game as a service will release an expansion that gets you excited? And what is that expansion?
I said Mario Kart World brings classic tracks and it shakes up the way they get you into maps and things like that to actually allow, you know, laps.
I didn't even think about Mario Kart World. Yeah, I'd love to change my answer. I hope that you're right, and I hope they also bring more characters. Because man, I was playing something. I was playing Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and the only thing I kept thinking while playing that game is they need to put Star Fox in Mario Kart. It just needs to happen. It just needs to be a, like I need to do that. All right, I thought long and hard about this. Like, what is a game as a service that I would actually play? I think the answer is Destiny 2. And I think the answer for what would pull me back in for at least a little bit is Halo 25th anniversary content. Not the Bungie 30th stuff they did a couple years ago, because they did a thing where it was like, oh, you could get some like Bungie, like you could get some Halo adjacent items. But I think like a full on Halo something, 25th anniversary.
I mean,
I'd do
I
a weekend.
guess they broke the mold by putting stuff in Helldivers. I guess.
Well, and Destiny has, um, there's a Star Wars thing happening. That was their most recent
Yeah, I mean, I know
software.
there's Star Wars stuff, like that's Lucas Arts to so that's not Microsoft to
I
Sony.
know.
Yeah, but I guess they did with Helldivers. Huh?
We'll see. Number 15. Which studio is the next to shut down? I hate this question, but it is an inevitability in this industry.
So, despite what I said earlier, I think it's Bungie.
Oh, wow.
While I think Marathon will live, I don't think it's going to
Yeah.
do the numbers. And there's been so much tumultuous shit going on to that's been reported, and Destiny's been slowly dying.
Fair enough. I did not have a specific studio. I just said something under EA because
I think that's the softball, the Lamia ball answer.
And last but not least, is Half-Life 3 real?
I've been on the fence about this, like up into since you put out these questions to now. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no
Oh man,
because
you
I
were
think
still even on the fence right
yeah
there.
I really think we would have seen it at the end of the year.
Hmm.
I think all the build up, all the momentum was for like, oh, it's going to be announced by the end of 2026, and the fact that we're still sitting here post New
Game
Year,
Awards. Yeah.
yeah,
I say yes. I think it's real.
I hope
I
so. I
think
hope I'm wrong
I
in
think
this
we'll
one.
finally get it after all this time. Well, there's our group predictions. Um, I think we move into our solo predictions. And we'll do the same kind of volley back and forth.
All right,
Um, all right,
I'll start.
2026 predictions. Hit me. What's your number one?
All right, here we go. Nintendo debuts its first themed Switch 2, and it is Dusk Bloods themed, and it will have a main menu theme pre-installed. That is because themes will be announced in June and will be available in the next software update. Themes included are all first-party IPs. Third parties have the option to charge $1.99, and at least one tasteful theme will be published and then removed by the end of by the time the end of 2026 comes.
Tasteful.
Yes, tasteful in quotes.
I got you.
I should put that in quotes in my
I
actual
got
thing
you.
here.
Um, that's good. Starting off with Switch 2. I will start off with Switch 2 as well. We will see more Switch 2 editions of Switch 1 games to continue to bolster the library. I think Super Mario Maker 2 will get a Switch 2 edition. Metroid Dread will get a Switch 2 edition. Xenoblade Chronicles X will get a Switch 2 edition. Endless Ocean Luminous will get a Switch 2 edition to make it run a little bit faster and some new content. And finally, your fifth Switch 2 edition, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, with some new characters. Not everybody was here, you know? So.
Yeah, well, yeah, just upgrade, and then it comes packed with a year, like another year's worth of characters.
Yeah.
Might it be 5?
Yeah, like 5 more.
Yeah.
Something like that. Right? Because
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to make a whole new Smash. Not yet. But I think this is a good way to prolong the life of
I
that.
don't know how you'd make a new Smash at this point. Like it's
I
ultimate
dude,
for
I
a
mean,
reason. Like
yeah.
because you've played your cards with the everyone's here. If you don't have everyone here, how the hell do you?
And you're gonna it's exactly the thing that Sakurai said when he like first started talking about that game. Like, man, whenever we go to make one of these, you kind of always know you're gonna upset somebody. You're gonna make someone, their favorite character is not gonna be included. So we've got to do it, and they did it. And no, but like that game's still really good. But I haven't touched it in a while. I haven't touched it a little bit, but like not the way that it could have.
What if it removed characters and it removed a third of them because they're all Fire Emblem? That would shake things up.
Yeah, and it wouldn't upset anybody. So win-win. Number two.
Oh god. All right, 2 PlayStation 2 franchises come back from the dead. SOCOM is being made by Bend, and Jack and Daxter comes back and is being made by either Insomniac or a Naughty Dog B team.
Interesting. Interesting. Jack and Daxter. Wait, you said Jack
Jack and Daxter, yeah,
and SOCOM. All
yeah,
right, all right.
SOCOM, yeah.
I'm in.
Dude, what the
I'm
fuck
in.
is Ben doing?
And we need more diversity in the PlayStation catalog because it's been fewer releases, but it's also like I'm stoked for Wolverine. I cannot wait to play Wolverine, but it's still like
Yeah,
Spider-Man, but Wolverine. You know what I mean? Like,
I think with SOCOM they can do like, do you know those Arma games? Like
yeah,
Arma,
yeah, yeah,
like I really think they could go in that direction with SOCOM
yeah.
and make it like this really intense like military shooter type of thing.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one. Um, we need some good PlayStation wins this year. Another company I think needs some wins is Sega. Wouldn't be a year of predictions without a Sega prediction. I went in a different direction this year though. Fresh from its Sonic the Hedgehog and DC Comics crossover, I believe Sega is going to announce that it's making a game for DC Comics. Period.
All right.
There it is. Number 3.
So for my third prediction, I want to bring up the Greek letter delta. And if you're on the video, you'll see it is a triangle. And that triangle has 3 sides. 3 announcements will be made by a publisher that recently released a game with delta in... Or sorry, announced. 3 announcements will be made by the publisher that recently released a delta game. Metal Gear Solid Remaster Volume 2 does come out, and the big deal about it is it will include Metal Gear Solid 4, which officially leaves the PlayStation 3. Mm-hmm. You're going to get a Suikoden 6 announcement. We're going to bring back a classic RPG.
Oh.
And then finally, a Belmont will appear on screen for an announcement of a new Castlevania game.
I'm glad that we're aligned. Yeah. Very glad we're aligned. I'm excited about Suikoden 6. Curious to see this Metal Gear remake. This is good. I think I'll slip right into my Castlevania prediction of the year, if you don't mind. I believe this year we will see a Castlevania compilation that will include Castlevania Rondo of Blood, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Castlevania The Adventure Rebirth, Castlevania Chronicles, and in the same way that M2 did Haunted Castle updated, I think we're going to get an updated version of Vampire Killer, the MSX game that very much did some weird Simon's Questy kind of stuff with Castlevania 1 back on the MSX. So I think we'll get all of those in a compilation. That's your Castlevania prediction so far.
Okay.
Number 4.
Square Enix has a little Square 4. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. The release is known. That's obviously part of it. You're going to obviously get your Final Fantasy VII Part 3 reveal this year. You're going to get a Nier sequel finally teased. And then Parasite Eve is officially back. I don't know if that's a remake or a new game, but Parasite Eve is officially back. And none of this spiritual successor bullshit. Legit
The
Parasite
third
Eve.
birthday. Yeah.
No
Okay.
Parasite Mutant by some company never heard of. No. Parasite Eve.
All right. I'm in. I'm in. All right. Now I know what you were saying when you were teasing up how good 26 might be. This is good. I've also got a Square Enix prediction, so we're aligned. Mine's a little bit different and a little bit better. I say that Square Enix will announce the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy re-release on all major platforms. Long live Fabula Nova Crystallis.
That's it. Just Final
That's
Fantasy
it.
the
Just
trilogy. Okay.
13 trilogy re-released on all platforms.
All right. All right. You might be catching wind of what I do when I finally get here. The Capcom 5 is back.
Okay, good, good, good.
It's back in a different way though. This year. So two things we already know. Resident Evil 9, obviously, and Onimusha
Yep.
is still slated to come out in 2026, despite us not
Yep.
knowing. There are going to be three other things coming out, or at least announced, that we don't know of that yet, though. So, Monster Hunter, I held back a little bit in the group predictions. Monster Hunter Wild is going to have a crossover with Dragon Ball Z. It's happening.
Ooh,
Devil May Cry 6 is announced.
nice.
And we finally get the Dino Crisis remake everyone's been screaming for.
Man, that's a good Capcom 5. Do they call it the Capcom 5? You don't have to make that part of the official prediction, but
I actually took screenshots of this because I had this prediction written, like fully written out already before the Game Awards even started, and I could technically say that Mega Man kicked it off.
oh yeah, that's good.
But I'm sticking with my 5. I'm sticking with my 5. But yeah, I guess I guess I could sub in Mega Man for one of those.
That's good.
But yeah, no. I think obviously DBZ Monster Hunter will be the one that comes out this year. I doubt we see Devil May Cry 6 and Dino Crisis just for the sake of everything else that's coming out. But yeah,
That would be a good Game Awards closer this year. Dino Crisis remake or reboot, whatever.
or literally
Uh,
anything else other than what we ended with last year.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So funnily enough, I closed out on Capcom saying that Monster Hunter Wild's new expansion is announced but not released in 2026. The game will add cross save using your Capcom ID, and it will release on Nintendo Switch 2. Which is thankfully potentially backed up by some data mining. 2026. Good. It's a solid 10 predictions we've got. It's going to be a good year if and when all of those things come true. Remember, I don't think either of us on our individual predictions got a full point out of the potential whatever, but there it is. Did you have any leftovers that you couldn't quite form into full predictions?
I repackaged it as that question, but I said Bungie could either go independent again or close.
Yeah.
And I think a new Horizon game is going to be revealed this year. I don't know why, but it's been a few years. It was what, year 1 of the PlayStation 5 that Forbidden West came
I
out,
think so.
or in
I
that
think
first
so.
like full year of it.
Yeah.
I before I landed on full as the Dino Crisis remake, I was gonna say this year's theme for games is gonna be dinosaurs.
Oh, I could see that.
A big dinosaur announcement year.
I hmm. Did that make it? I mean, we're going to this next. Did that make it to your year of?
No.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Oh, and I have Kojima is gonna be at G3 for OD, finally, or
Oh,
Fizzit.
that'll
I
be good.
forgot. I keep forgetting about Fizzit. So what is he'll be there for something.
Something. Yeah, he's gonna show a game. The only other ones I didn't like fully form into anything. I think that M2 is finally going to release Aleste Branch, their new shooting game that they announced like 29 years ago. And then I think that we're going to see a lot more video games that you wouldn't expect releasing on Switch and PS4 still in 2026. Mega Man, what was that? 12,
Yeah.
releasing in 2027 on Switch 1 and PS4 surprised me. But I also think, given, the landscape, I also think, even though in our group predictions, I did kind of put a target launch window for the next Xbox as fall 2027. I think a lot of us have been saying, like, I don't need a new console next year, and I don't think we're going to necessarily get one. And I think, in fact, we're going to see more developers and publishers try and release on existing hardware and build on those existing things. At least that's my hope. But all right, next up, the theme. This is something we didn't formally do on the podcast last year, but we informally kind of had it there, and then we wrapped up the year reflecting on them. Something we introduced a few years back where we sort of set intentions for the year with a theme, a year of the something. Um, I'll let you dive in. What is your year's theme?
It's gonna be the year of reason. So for what you just said, stuff's getting pricey. Um, video games are more expensive than ever. Well, relative. Consoles, hardware, RAM, probably soon, hard drives, all that shit is expensive. So I'm not buying anything unless like I can formally like give a number of reasons why I want to buy it. And this goes across like software, hardware, just weird tech, gadgets, anything.
Yeah, yeah,
Unless I can give like a number of reasons why. If it's software, more importantly, when am I going to play it in my calendar year?
yeah, yeah.
If it's like, especially if it's something on sale for like $30, like, should I just wait for the next sale that will inevitably happen, or am I actually going to play it in? Do I see a destination? Now, obviously, plans can change, so I can't like keep to that. And there's always surprises and things like that. But like the whys have to be answered, the whens have to be answered, and all this shit came up and stirred up. And earlier, well, I guess last month in December, when I had to react quickly to RAM prices going up and putting parts into my PC, I sat at a Micro Center website for hours on end trying to come up with reasoning and why it's okay and doing all this shit for
Yeah.
the parts I just put in. So I ultimately did it after about 10 hours of contemplating and sleeping on it and whatnot. But I'm going to kind of take that approach to like brand new video games, brand new hardware. There isn't any new hardware this year. So yeah, just like I gotta be able to tell you like in a text if I'm texting you something like I gotta
Yeah.
be able to I'm getting this because of X, Y, and Z. And if I can't do that, if it's like I don't know, it's not gonna happen. I did put I did put in for the podcast can be a reason.
I think so. Yeah, like I think because I kind of quietly made that shift myself too, or I noticed myself like feeling similar feelings where like, especially with the end of the year sales and stuff that were across every platform, I'm looking, I'm like, ooh, that thing that's been on my wish list forever is on sale for like $20 now, and I'm like, and then I'm looking, I'm like, we got podcast games. I want to replay RE8 before 9 drops. Like, there's plenty of stuff. So I I think that's good. But yeah, I think podcast is a good reason. I think also like you can justify like this game looked cool. But yeah, I'm with you. I definitely
Like that when is such a big part of this because if I
the when's
can't
huge.
like Kirby Air Ride, I think is a perfect example of that. I think we talked
I
about getting
know.
it, but when was I going to play it?
Yeah, we were both there. We were both like, oh yeah, I'll do it, and then it just hmm. Maybe I'll still maybe buy it. I don't know.
Yeah, so
That's good. I have a follow up question to that, but I think our most anticipated will kind of answer some of it. So I'll save for when we start talking about most anticipated. Um, my year is the year of the vampire, and you kind of solidified this by putting Blood Rain on our list and opening the year with it for season 14. But it's a it's the 40th anniversary of Castlevania. I do think we're gonna get Castlevania. Like I can feel it this year. It even drew a prediction or a third of a prediction out from you, so that further proves my point. But there's already a handful of vampire games that I know of that are coming out this year that at least are intriguing. Um, the Blood of Dawnwalker, which is I think the ex-Witcher people making a vampire game. Bloodstained, the Scarlet Engagement comes out. The Dusk Bloods comes out. Vampire Crawlers, the sequel to Vampire Survivors. Vampire Huntress, Lament of the Sun, which looks like a cool old school style Castlevania game. And Code Vein 2 are all coming out. There's also vampire games from the last few years that I missed out on that I still want to play, like V Rising, which is like a Diablo style game where you play as a vampire and you're doing looting so that you can build a base to build a castle and I don't know, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 came out last year, and I do still want to see that one through. Also, Vampire Survivors got a co-op mode last year, and I kept promising Mark I'd play it and still haven't. So I kind of want to do that. I then went a step further and was like, you know what? Well, and this was not necessarily your fault, but you did put Blood Rain on the list. So I did obtain a copy of this out in the wild, Blood Rain, the movie. And it had me realizing there's a lot of vampire movies I still haven't seen. So I should make a list of vampire movies I want to see.
Okay.
And throughout the year, just start watching stuff and just see where that goes. So I kind of want to do that. But I also think the year of the vampire, with vampire lore and history, there's always a trade-off, right? Sure, you can live forever, but at what cost? So I think by me declaring the year of the vampire, it should not necessarily be just a declaration, but one of risk. So I'm saying here right now, for every quarter that passes, and we're going to be doing an end of the quarter podcast each fourth of the year. For every quarter that passes where there's not a new Castlevania announcement, I will stream 1 hour of a vampire game of Matt's choice. Obviously, it needs to be something easy to stream that I can do within setup, but you choose whatever it is. It can be for whatever platform I can easily broadcast. And every quarter, I will stream an hour of a vampire game that you pick.
Okay.
The secondary bet, that's for every quarter that passes without a new Castlevania announcement. But at the anniversary of Castlevania, which I believe is in September, I was already planning on streaming a speedrun of Castlevania 1 for NES. But if a new game or Castlevania collection is not announced by the 40th anniversary, then not only will I stream Castlevania, I will also dress as Simon Belmont for the stream.
Okay.
So there you have it. The Year of the Vampire. And
do you have a Simon Belmont costume that's ready to go? Like, can you make it happen? Okay.
I mean, I'm like partially there, you know. Like I think I just need a headband and a chest plate and a whip. I think easy enough, right? Plus, by September, all of the Halloween stores will be up and around. I could find that'll be easy enough.
yeah. Your local Spirit Halloween that's taken over a condemned Sears or some shit.
Exactly. Yeah. Easy. Okay. Predictions and the theme. Our final segment, most anticipated. These are the games that are currently slated for. This is not our final segment, actually. I forgot we have a season 14 preview to sneak in. But in terms of predictions and looking ahead, the video games that are confirmed for this year, what is your most anticipated game? And tying into your theme, how does the most anticipated game, is it, are there things that you're like, hey, without a doubt, I'm buying?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I have a list of games here I was going to shout out. I am pretty sure there are at least 3, without a doubt, I'm buying.
Hit me. Well, what's number one? What's
Resident
Evil
9. It's still Resident Evil 9. That hasn't gone away. This is a better question to ask me post February and March, but yeah, Resident Evil 9 still the tippity top. My hype's only gone and increased with in time since the initial G3 reveal.
Do you have a runner-up? What's your runner-up anticipated?
Probably. You see, there's a toss-up between a couple. I think Dusk Bloods is still the because I'm
Yeah, me
started
too.
now. It's been a full calendar year now since I played Elden Ring, the expansion. The itch is coming back,
Yeah.
so I'm ready for Dustbloods. I hope it comes out in 2026 because From has a reputation of delaying, but I
I
hope.
didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's a good point. For me right now, I think Romeo as a Dead Man is my front runner for most anticipated. That's the new one from Grasshopper and Suda.
Right? Yes.
Um, I want something that's just fun and weird, and I don't know. We both ended up putting No More Heroes on our list this year, and I remember like my reason for landing on that is just like itching for just a weird experience. And I knew that No More Heroes was something unique and odd. And I think like in the wake of where we're at in the video game industry and with all of these safe releases, like Romeo as a Dead Man doesn't look safe at all. It
Yeah.
looks weird and odd. So that one's really drawn my attention. I'm still really excited for Mina the Hollower, the new Yacht Club game. That one got pushed back from its Halloween release, but I can't wait for that one. And then the last one that I have bolded on my list, I've got like 15 games on this list, but the last one I bolded as like a standout is 45 Parabellum Bloodhound, which is the new game from the folks who brought you Valhalla, the cyberpunk bartender game. This is their Parasite Eve game.
Mm.
Um, yeah, they've been quietly working on this, and I remember it started from like I think literally like a GIF on Tumblr from one of the developers posting a combat system very reminiscent of Parasite Eve, and I think that was just the entire crux of the. It was like, hey, Parasite Eve's cool. Look at this thing, and now that's turned into a full game, and I think it's scheduled for this year. But I'm looking forward to seeing more of that one for sure.
I
What else
forgot
you got on
about
your list?
I forgot about this one. This probably is the better will be the better game. Um, I will. I'm not. It's not like a big looking forward to, but on following up off of that, that Parasite Mutant game by that weird
Oh yeah,
developer, their demo is as this drops, that demo is live. I think today.
interesting.
If you're wanted to check that out. But another Parasite Eve inspired game. That one has more of like a anime art style
Yeah.
to it. But no, like in their little trailer, it does the fucking dome thing that you're
Oh yeah.
yep.
I don't need
It
much more than a dome.
yeah yeah. So that's there. Other games though, in terms of others that are probably definitely day one buys. Wolverine, as long as
Yeah.
that hits this year. Animusha, Capcom is just hitting it out of the park. And on that, probably this is what probably we're on the fringe titles of like, let's see, Pragmata
I
is in
know. Look,
April.
man, I've been looking at Pragmata since 2020, so I feel like I owe it to Capcom to give him $70 on that.
Um,
Also, Capcom has not made a bad game. Even Monster Hunter Wilds, I know I was a little like initially, but I've been loving that. So, and I'm ready to buy it again.
um, I think Mario Tennis. I'm there day one.
I forgot about Mario Tennis. I
I gotta
probably
ride
will.
that wave again. That'd be
Yeah.
a fun thing to look through. And then the other fringe stuff that I'm gonna shout out. Marathon's still there.
Yeah.
We'll
I
see. We'll
know.
see kind of when that comes out. But the more I've been talking with some other people, I think I'm pulling the trigger to Arc Raiders at some point this month, and that
Oh
might
wow.
steal its thunder. Um,
Hmm.
which yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
It could steal its thunder, or it could wet its palate.
Could be that.
Yeah.
I gotta shout out the dumb Halloween game that John Carpenter has a
Yeah.
huge hand in October. Again, I'm more curious to see what they do with the single player thing. I mean, I'll play multiplayer, but I don't know how many other people are gonna be playing it online with me. So, I'm curious to see how the single player kind of campaign thing shakes out. Also, while I'm thinking about horror games, single player campaign, completely forgot the Hellraiser game existed. Don't know if that's 2026 or not.
Oh yeah.
But we'll keep my eye out for that. That this 007 game, it
Hmm.
it's like the SATs where you start high and you tick down the score. it's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
like that right for me right now. Lenny Kravitz as the main villain that does absolutely nothing for me.
Yeah.
Um, I hope that game works out. I know it just got recently delayed, so maybe I don't know. Maybe they'll figure out a new something that will inspire hope again. That Lego Batman game looks cool,
Yeah, it does.
and I think that's all I have on my little list. I didn't miss anything. Nani Musha, Wolverine, Mario Tennis. Yeah, that's about all of it. Did I miss anything with Switch that we know besides Duskbloods? We don't know a
There's
lot,
a
do we?
we don't know a lot. There's three that have been announced. Two, I don't think
Fire
you
Emblem I
might.
know
So
is
there's
one.
oh, I forgot about that. So
Oh,
there's Fire Emblem. I didn't write that down. Rhythm Heaven Groove is
yeah.
due out this year, and Tomodachi Life Living the Dream is due out this
Right.
year.
Yeah, that's yeah.
The third that you did not have on your list, which I'm surprised, is they're adding Virtual Boy to the
Oh
Switch
yeah.
and Switch 2.
Yep. Okay.
So
Yep.
thought
I
that would
thought you
be top of
needed
your
the
list.
attachment though.
You do. I thought you
Oh.
bought the
Okay.
attachment. Also Pokemon Pokopia, the Animal Crossing play as a haunted Ditto person.
I I have Animal Crossing. It's fine.
I I'm curious about that one. I'm
I'll
intrigued.
probably play Tamagotchi Life anyway.
Life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one might be. Yeah. Um what else I got jotted down here? Obviously Tokyo Extreme Racers hitting consoles or PS5 next month. So I'll be in that all year long, I promise you. I don't know that I'm there right away, but I'm really stoked that they're doing Yakuza Kiwami 3
Hmm.
because Kiwami 1 and 2 were really great. I finally finished 2, I think, last year or the year before. And I started 3, like the regular old 3, and it just you do lose some stuff going back from the remakes. So the fact that this is getting a full 3 or full Kiwami update, I might I might pick it up at some point. Um Big Walk looks cool. This is the new one from I think it's House, the Untitled Goose Game people. Um Neverway looks neat. It's like a top-down Zelda with a really
Hmm.
like Tim Burton-esque
Oh, that one. Okay.
uh art style. I think it was in one of the directs. I'm very intrigued. I believe it's got a target date of this year. Phantom Blade Zero.
Oh, the
This is
Game
the
Freak
new
one.
yeah, the new Game Freak game. We'll see what happens with that. And then one that you did not call out that I was surprised you didn't
I
mention.
may just missed it. I kind of forgot to do this. I was doing it on the fly.
Oh, Ace Combat 8 Wings of
Oh, right.
Thieves.
I forgot that got revealed. I completely forgot that got revealed.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by that.
Yeah, that was the
Um,
one good thing.
yeah.
Or two
And
good things.
then the only other thing I have written down is Bloodstained the Scarlet Engagement. I am looking forward to seeing what they do now in a post Kickstarter world. Not that the Kickstarter stuff hurt that game, but like, that was the one they did as like a proof of concept. Like, hey, help us fund this and we'll get it going. But now, like, they've just been making this. So, like, what did they learn from the first one? What do they want to do with it? I'm curious about it. Um, yeah, should have a good ride. I have one more question before we talk about season 14 stuff. When it comes to video games in 2026, do you have it's actually I think I know the answer to this already, but do you have a platform preference or do you feel yourself moving in a different direction? I ask because I'm like partially curious if I are thinking about buying Resident Evil 9 on Switch 2. And that's and maybe Pragmata. And I know that's a stupid thing to say because I primarily play docked. I'm not going to play it handheld anyway, so there's no reason to buy it on Switch 2, but just something about doing it, not having trophies to chase, just there it is. and kind of making Switch 2 my primary seems attractive, but I don't know if I'm insane or
I don't. So I kind of do want to say Switch 2 to an extent, but like I need to see how the like we know how like the PS4 era stuff and the early PS5 era stuff's running. I want to see what a new release looks like on like a Digital Foundry breakdown on how that thing is running. RE9 or well, I guess Prime would be a bad example because it's still Capcom, but like
yeah, yeah.
another, like I want to see how it's running that stuff before I kind of fully commit to it. I would say probably PC is still going to be the primary guy. I think I'm probably playing RE9 though on PlayStation.
Yep.
Um, just one for the sheer fact, not that trophies are like this big thing I'm chasing anymore. Like playing Death Stranding, like I'm kind of thinking about like, oh man, if I'm still digging this by the time I complete the main story, like what does a platinum look like? But it's not
Mm.
weighing heavily in the back of my mind trying to like do all these sub orders now like to
Yeah,
get ahead
yeah.
of it. Um, but just for the fact that Resident Evil 4's platinum chase was so fun that there's potential they might do it again in Resident Evil 9. Um,
That's a good point.
but yeah, no, I like I want to see how Switch 2 performs on a brand new AAA game, and then maybe we'll start talking. Um,
I
but
agree.
hey,
I'm just like,
If Wilds is getting to Switch, that gives me some optimism. Again, I can
yeah,
keep bringing up Capcom games, which is bad, but like the fact that like Elden Ring is
yeah,
like ran like shit at a preview, and then it's been
yeah.
delayed for
So they can get it
forever.
right. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if that's just from not knowing how to develop on it, which is weird because
yeah.
Dustbloods is coming there, so that gives me pause a little bit. I don't know.
I'm not like hopeful for Switch 2 being like super performant, but I do hope that we do get to this point where there was a thing a while back. I think it was one of the interviews that Kyle Bossman did with Matt Piscatella from Circana on his channel. And he talked about how the the console player and even the PC player to an extent are aging out, right? Like we're still here and we still have our comfortability in that space. A lot of us have moved to PC, but all that stuff is moving. And the younger generation, where they're looking to play games, is on what they already own. So it's not necessarily like, well, I'm going to buy a PlayStation because it's got Wolverine on it. It's like, hey, I'm going to play your game because I can run it in a
Mm-hmm.
browser on my Chromebook that I have for school. And I think we also saw comments from, it was Tim Sweeney talking about like developers and optimization and things like that with Unreal 5. And it was like, we're all shooting for these high targets when really we should be trying to go
Mm-hmm.
lower. And I think like seeing Marvel Rivals come out on PS4 like a year later almost from its PS5 release shows you that there's potential for these older platforms. And I do kind of hope we get that just because to your earlier point, your year of reason, like the stuff's getting more expensive. It's also like I don't know, like any of this tech and stuff. Like you and I, we've built a whole list out of 166 games, many of them games that are older than this generation because there's so much stuff left unexplored and whatever. Like there's, I think, value in older hardware and maintaining it and keeping it up. But in the same sense, like hardware that's currently on the market or has been on the market, I think there's value in like making that better too, and
Yeah.
we're like losing that. You know, I think we talked a lot about how, or we have, or we see it, whatever. The PS5 generation feels like it hasn't started, and I think that's still true because we haven't had that like era of optimization where like the crazy good stuff's coming out. Like you'd hit that sweet spot a few years in where like okay, developers get how to optimize the platform, and we still don't get that. Like Monster Hunter Wilds launched last year, and it was still it's a mess on PC, but it was not that it was still weird on console, and we still see that with a lot of games and stuff. Like, so I don't know. I'm hopeful that that stuff fleshes out, and we do get there with Switch 2, but time will tell.
Yeah, I mean, I to further like I think seeing the price of a PlayStation 5 Pro is going to be telling of what a new Xbox and a new PlayStation look like.
Yeah,
And I
dude.
didn't see maybe it's just not in my wheelhouse anymore. But I didn't see everyone kicking and screaming to go get their PS5 Pro.
No. I know some people who've gotten one and they like it and they're happy with it, but it doesn't seem like a necessary jump, right? It's
Yeah,
going to add benefits to having it, just like any of this stuff, but
but
you know.
I mean, here's the thing: like I'm playing shit like Death Stranding 2 that looks beautiful when you can see the
Yes.
game when you're not in the mountains, but like I'm on base PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
It looks
I
and it's
mean,
cinematic as all hell, and I that is where it's at.
I just went back to, well, I never mind. I won't say. There's something for this season. I
Hmm.
told you about, but we're playing it, and I played on an Xbox One, and I've been jumping between
Mm-hmm.
Xbox One and Series X, and like and this game in particular has a bunch of Series X enhancements, but it still looks and runs great on Xbox One, which like, and to be fair, it would probably look and run great on the platform it came out on before. So I don't know. All right. Speaking of season 14, let's do a little taste of kind of what's upcoming. The first 5 episodes of the season, including this one, are up in preview on the sidebar of the website. If you're in any of the articles on the site, you can see the sidebar and a little peek at the games coming up over the next few weeks. Um, what led you to your season 14 choices? Was there an overall theme coming into this one or an idea behind it?
I knew I needed to get away from the one genre thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just for I think for the sake of both of us. But I don't think there was anything to it. I was kind of halfway. I started with one theme and I kind of pivoted off that. And a lot of the remnants of it are still there, and I think you'll pick up the some people will pick up the pieces if you look at the schedule. But like variety ended up being a big part of it by the end of it when I got to like my 25 or my main short list, and then I kind of pick and choose from there, um, which I think I got. That was like the thing, like the polar opposite of let's explore first person shooters to what let's jump around and gameplay some.
Yeah, I think mine ended up in a similar fashion. Like I needed a break from like the modernity of video games. Like current AAA output has gotten a little boring, a little stale, a little too safe, and I wanted weird stuff. So I split my list and did half of the games, PS1 games, because to me, like Sony was weird. There were so many weird first party Sony games. Sony published so much back then. And I also think like with the PS1 library, we've completely there's so much unexplored. I pulled some numbers for you just for this. There were okay, so the PS4 to date has 3,553 games. The PS3, 2,407. Going back to contemporary with the PS1, there were 1,028 games on Saturn and 388 on N64. Do you know how many PS1 had?
I no idea.
4,074 recorded. So, like, there's so much that we still have not played. And playing through Dino Crisis 2, Suikoden, even Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub Zero last year kind of made me realize we should look at some PS1 stuff in greater depth. Um, Reading magazines from the era or even after the PS1 era, but reading magazines that kind of highlighted like the best of, and there's stuff like I still have never played Wild Arms. I've still never played Xenogears. Like there's a lot to still chase. Also, Sean Shanson is a great YouTube channel. If you've not checked out his stuff, do that. If you like PS1 stuff, that is. But he explores uncelebrated games from the platform and does a lot of great work there. And that's watching his stuff has made me realize like how good the PS1 stuff is. So I'm excited with that. And that too, like, also led me for the other half of my list of games for this season. I picked out stuff that were gameplay first and stuff that kind of like did something weird or felt evocative of the spirit of PS1. So that's where I'm at. Our first handful of games over the next few weeks. We got Blood Rain next week, Incredible Crisis the week after, Katamari Damacy the week after that, and Cooking Mama to kick off February. So, quite a lineup to get us started. Final thoughts on 2026 or the beginning of season 14?
No, just look forward to some. I think we got some weird games to kick things off, and throughout the
Yeah,
year,
yeah.
honestly. But yeah,
No, it's. I'm really looking forward to it. We're gonna have a good time. Um, so come back next week for Blood Rain, and come back in a year to see how we did on the predictions for 2026. Everyone have a great start to your year. Play some video games. We'll see you soon. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.